I may be wrong, but I am never in doubt, and anyone who has been around me for even a minute understands that my self-confidence and self-esteem is sometimes overwhelming. When I was a freshman, I was 5 feet 9 and totally skinny as a pole, knock knees and bad hair. Then, over that summer, I grew up a little bit. Not that I was some super beauty, but at least I didn't look like I was 10 anymore and had a little self-confidence. Because Great Britain has self-confidence, it doesn't need a monumental Olympics. We derive so much of our self-confidence and validation from Instagram. Just imagine one day Instagram gets deleted, like all of your friends who you think you have on social media, all these likes and comments just disappear. What are we left with? We have stopped valuing human relationships and contact. I had been a Maoist, and then when the Gang of Four was overthrown, I was completely distraught. I was bedridden for 3 weeks. It was a very painful experience for me, not only because I had been wrong, but because I felt really embarrassed that I had been lecturing and pontificating with such self-confidence. I have got a self-confidence that I have the ability, but felt I was not being lucky and was an unlucky person. I couldn't bear it if anyone knew I had hardly any self-confidence at all. Boxing gave me self-confidence that I didn't have growing up. When I was young, I was super quiet and I didn't trust anybody. I didn't like having friends. There are players who are arrogant, and players who probably need more self-confidence. But if you get the balance right, you can get the best out of yourself. The way to develop self-confidence is to do the thing you fear and get a record of successful experiences behind you. Giving people self-confidence is by far the most important thing that I can do, because then they will act. Discouragement, fear, doubt, lack of self-confidence, are the germs which have killed the prosperity and happiness of tens of thousands of people. Don't let others put thoughts into your mind that takes away your self-confidence. Doing projects really gives people self-confidence. Nothing is better than taking the pie out of the oven. What it does for you personally, and for your family's idea of you, is something you can't buy. The chief symptom of adolescence is a state of expectation, a tendency towards creative work, and a need for the strengthening of self-confidence. Suddenly, the child becomes very sensitive to the rudeness and humiliations which he had previously suffered with patient indifference. Lucid dreaming has considerable potential for promoting personal growth and self-development, enhancing self-confidence, improving mental and physical health, facilitating creative problem-solving and helping you to progress on the path to self-mastery. What destroys more self-confidence than any other educational thing in America is being assigned to some remedial math when you get into some college, and then it's not taught very well and you end up with this sense of, hey, I can't really figure those things out. Brooke and I share some similarities. We're both passionate, fiercely loyal people, but she is far more outlandish than I'd ever be, particularly with her body and her sexuality. Brooke has made herself weak for men. She only gained self-confidence from their attention. I have an unremovable stain of self-confidence. I emphasize self-esteem, self-confidence, and dignity, not as an ideal, but as a real test of community organization. Without leadership development, community organizations do not have staying power. A great figure or physique is nice, but it's self-confidence that makes someone really sexy. Self-confidence is the first requisite to great undertakings. I'm very passionate about the use of sports in young people's lives to build self-esteem and self-discipline and self-confidence. It's been a big thing for me. It is only necessary to have courage, for strength without self-confidence is useless. I feel social media can be very distracting, unhealthy, and harmful to one's self-confidence. I don't even log onto it on my phone except when I post something on Instagram. As a father, my first priority is to help my sons set and attain personal goals so they will develop self-confidence and individual strength. Engaging in regular fitness activities with my children helps me fulfill those responsibilities. Smile, for everyone lacks self-confidence, and more than any other one thing a smile reassures them. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. You are as young as your self-confidence, as old as your fears, as young as your hope, as old as your despair. Qualities you need to get through medical school and residency: discipline, patience, perseverance, a willingness to forego sleep, a penchant for sadomasochism, ability to weather crises of faith and self-confidence, accept exhaustion as fact of life, addiction to caffeine a definite plus, unfailing optimism that the end is in sight. Humor comes from self-confidence. To excel at the highest level, or any level, really, you need to believe in yourself, and hands down, one of the biggest contributors to my self-confidence has been private coaching. I definitely think that, for a woman, the biggest turn-on is the mind. Otherwise, obviously you want someone who keeps up with himself and has self-respect and self-confidence. In the book of Gaga, fame is in your heart, fame is there to comfort you, to bring you self-confidence and worth whenever you need it. I'm not good with pick-up lines or flirting. I don't have that kind of self-confidence or natural charisma. The best way to help Burma is to empower the people of Burma, to help us have enough self-confidence to obtain what we want for ourselves. Nothing builds self-esteem and self-confidence like accomplishment. I believe that singing is the key to long life, a good figure, a stable temperament, increased intelligence, new friends, super self-confidence, heightened sexual attractiveness, and a better sense of humor. This journey from non-dancer to dancer has given me a lot of self-confidence and inner strength. I feel like a different person. I had a fantastic mother who taught me self-confidence. Obesity is the biggest disease of mankind, bigger than even cancer. Your self-confidence is low and you become mentally sick. Vocational education programs have made a real difference in the lives of countless young people nationwide. They build self-confidence and leadership skills by allowing students to utilize their unique gifts and talents. Never stop, never give up, never stop giving yourself the self-confidence you need to be a champion. Racism is a very insidious thing. It's dangerous to the psyche, to mind and body. It erodes the self-confidence, and I don't know how we get through it. Self-confidence has always been one of my good qualities. I am always very confident. It is in my nature to be confident, to be aggressive, and it applies in my batting as well as wicket-keeping. Don't misjudge my self-confidence. Makeup is the last thing to enhance your beauty, but it's very important because it builds up your self-confidence and gives you more courage. I got into online trading. It was alarmingly easy to do. I went through the whole cycle of emotions, from supreme self-confidence to total impotence. I broke even in the end. In the Raphael room, the secret turned out to be that only some of the paintings were made by the great master, the rest were made by students. I had liked the ones by Raphael. This was a big jab for my self-confidence and my ability to appreciate art. As far as self-confidence goes, so much of social media is about approval, getting likes, comparing our lives to others. Meanwhile, confidence is an inside job. It's about how you feel about yourself regardless of what anyone else does or thinks. It's a knowing that you're human, you're flawed, and you're awesome in your own way. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.